Good morning, and welcome to my Monday messages. And for those of you who may not be familiar with me, my name's Rebecca, and I'm a homeopath. I'm a QTT practitioner, a holistic life coach, and natural health advocate. And I use my Monday messages to share anything that I think might be useful to any of us wanting to achieve greater levels of health, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Part of that is about becoming more conscious of who we are, how we work, and what we need to do to get towards greater health. And also being able to make more conscious choices in every aspect of our life. So today, that's what I'm going to focus on, actually, is a bit more on the physical health side of things. If you're joining me live, then you're very, very welcome. Do pop in the comments below who you are, maybe, or where you're calling from, where you're listening from. Always very interested to see how many people from which parts of Ireland or the UK are listening to me. And if you're watching on the replay, the same, you're very welcome, and I'm still very interested. And it's never too late to ask any questions or post any comments. I will get back to you, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. So I hope you had a beautiful weekend. We had fabulous weather here, so it was like midsummer. It was gorgeous, and everybody's moods lift when the sun's out, which is lovely to see. So, today I wanted to issue a bit of a challenge. Oh, good morning, Grania. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll come on to what the challenge is, but I was struck by just how much information is out there at the moment, and this has been growing for the last few years, about how to become more conscious of ourselves and how to make better choices so that we are improving our emotional health, how we feel about things. And obviously that impacts on our spiritual health as well. And how we can do that actually with relative ease. And that's one of the things that the QTT work that I do does so beautifully. It's been something that homeopathic remedies have always addressed as well. So it's an area that I really think is so important and so empowering. And I'm really heartened to notice how many people are becoming more conscious and are really embracing the whole concept of what is ultimately energy medicine. You're not necessarily taking any drugs or pharmaceutical medicines, anything like that, in order to achieve anything. It's all happening from within. So it is about changing the energy within you. And many, many, many people are that's just resonating with them, and they're really on board with that, which is beautiful to watch. What seems to lag behind, I've noticed, and this is not uncommon with when we're working towards full health anyway, is how we address our physical illnesses. And I know that when we're not feeling well, that is when the whole of our health, it kind of drops, it just dips a bit, and we're a bit more vulnerable. We're less capable of being as clear about choices and about decisions when we are feeling fully healthy. We don't make as good choices and decisions when we're not feeling 100%. And we tend to go a little bit knee-jerk, a little bit into, well, what have I always done in the past? So going back to those patterns of behaviour, and just without really thinking about it, reaching for what we've always done. So what I wanted to do this week is challenge you to have a look at your first aid kit, your medicine box, your medicine cabinet, wherever you keep your medicines that you kind of reach for minor illnesses. Whether that's on a regular basis or whether that's an ad hoc basis, it doesn't matter. And have a review of what's in that collection of medicines. If there's anything that you're using on a regular basis, doesn't have to be daily or weekly or whatever, it doesn't actually even have to be as regular as, once every few months. But if there is an over-the-counter medication that's in there that you just take without thinking about it, what I would love you to do is to share what that is in the comments below this video and tell me what you tend to use it for. You don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but just roughly. And I will tell you a remedy, a homeopathic remedy, or a group of remedies that you could choose in place of that over-the-counter medication. Because I think that when we're kind of going knee-jerk and reaching for the paracetamol or the Nurofen or the, whatever it is, if we had a choice, if we actually had something else that we could choose that did the same job, in terms of relieving discomfort or pain, but didn't carry with it any side effects, and also actually the possibility that the incidences of your minor illness would actually get less and less, or certainly be less intense, why wouldn't you choose that alternative? So what I want to do this week is to just introduce the idea that for every single over-the-counter pharmaceutical medicine that you may have in your medicine box, there will be a homeopathic remedy that you could try instead. And sometimes that is enough to just go, I didn't realise that. Okay, well, I'll give that a go next time then. As I say, we do tend to go a bit knee-jerk when we're not feeling good. And just introducing the concept that if you're choosing to make better choices generally in your life, to enhance your emotional health and your spiritual health, why not do the same with your physical health? Because they're all intertwined, they're not separate. Each area of health affects the other. They have a symbiotic relationship. And if we're in full health, optimum health, then all of those aspects of ourselves will be working in harmony for our greatest good and our highest intention, and we will feel better. So if we can actually include the way that we address our physical illness, as well as our emotional and our spiritual dis-ease, what's not to like, basically? So, and I'm aware that that means challenging often quite a lot of very ingrained beliefs and habits and habitual behaviour. But I want to encourage you this week to just maybe start thinking about things a bit differently. So pop in the thread below, the comments below, anything that's in your medicine cabinet that you use on a regular basis or an ad hoc basis, or perhaps if you're already using homeopathy for yourselves or some other form of natural medicine, perhaps there's a family member that uses a pharmaceutical over-the-counter med for something on a regular basis. Maybe you could share that, and I will share with you possibilities for alternative choices that will perhaps introduce the idea of cure, not just palliation as well. Because if you're constantly suffering from, let's say, headaches or period pains or tummy upsets or rashes or whatever it is, then what you would want, ideally, I would assume, is to actually have a form of medicine that's capable of reducing or lessening or eliminating the need for you to actually experience those things. And that is certainly possible with homeopathic remedies. So if you would like to know more and learn more about how to use remedies, if you're interested, doesn't matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just starting, perhaps you've just used arnica in the past and not really used anything else, and it's piqued your interest. If you would really like to use more natural medicines to address minor illnesses so that you can reduce your usage of over-the-counter medications, then do join my Facebook community, Homeopathy in Your Hands, and I will pop a link in the comments below. For some reason I couldn't do it in the post today. Wouldn't let me paste, so don't know what's going on there. So I will pop it in the comments below. You can join my community. It's a lovely place where you can ask questions, you can share information or experiences. I do regular live workshops. In fact, there's one coming up this Saturday morning if you're interested. And I also will make any offers for my online learning course or anything else that I do. My community is the first to hear about those, and there is a plan afoot to do a special offer on my online learning course, so you'll need to pop into the group to hear about that first. So that's my challenge this week, is to review your medicine chest, your home prescribing chest, pick out just one over-the-counter medication, and just start thinking about what could I use instead. And I want to help you do that. So share that drug with me, what you use it for, and I will give you some alternatives. So that's it for this week. I'm throwing down the challenge. I really hope that you will take it up and you will share with me, and we can help you make that switch gradual. And actually, if that seems too scary, it doesn't have to be a total switch, not at all. Sometimes it's just about adding in, so that you have a really full and varied medical kit at home that you can use appropriately, and that sometimes we do need to reach for pharmaceuticals for whatever reason. I believe it shouldn't be the first thing that we reach for, because there are lots of really effective remedies that you can use instead. So I hope that makes sense, and that you are up for the challenge. Do let me know, and I'll look forward to your shares, and I hope that you will benefit from mine. Thank you very much for joining me, and have a great week.